Greetings. Thank you so much for joining us for another product walkthrough webinar. I am Lindsay, and today I am joined by the team over at BackupGuard, which is a WordPress plugin that easily backs up, restores, and migrates your WordPress site, files, and databases. It is starting at $39 on AppSumo for a lifetime deal. We're going to dive into this in just a second, but before we show you how it works, a few quick things. First, if you want to tell us about your use case, why you're interested in this plugin, go ahead and do that in the chat room. We'd love to hear from you there. If you have any questions about the tool, the deal, how to get set up, put your questions in the Q&A box. It makes it easy on me to sort through them later. We will circle back to your questions at the end of the walkthrough. And then the last thing is that there will be a replay of this available. So if you need to step out, that's totally fine. All right, that is enough of me. Artavaz, how are you doing over there?
Hi, I'm fine. And you?
I'm doing all right. I'm excited to have you here today. I'm going to let you take it away for the walkthrough, and then let me know when you're ready to take questions.
Okay, great. So I will start to share my screen. Okay, 1 second. Okay, can you see my screen?
Good.
Okay. Okay. Hello, my name is Artavaz. So I'm going to do a walkthrough on BackupGuard, and I'm going to show you how our plugin works and all the essential features. And I'm going to answer some of the important questions that we had during these days of launching in AppSumo. And then after that, I will go to the Q&A session. So first of all, let me show you the backup plugin. It is already installed here on my local environment. And as you can see, I have logged in with my account. And this is the platinum version, but the gold version is not so different from the one that I'm going to show you. So first of all, let me tell you that BackupGuard is a backup plugin for WordPress websites. But we have several other solutions too, but what I'm going to show you, these are essentially the WordPress features. So first of all, we are here in the backups section. And as you can see, I already have 2 backups. And this is where you are going to see the list of all your backups. And running a manual backup is as easy as going to here, the backup button. You click it, and a pop-up comes, which asks if you want to do a full backup of your website or a custom backup. So this is a very important feature, which sometimes you just want to do a backup of the database, for example, and you don't need the files, etc. You can go here and select this option. You can also go further and customize the backup of the database by selecting the database tables that you need, or you can do a full database backup. The same for the files. So you can select whether you want to backup only the WP content directory, the plugins, stems, or the uploads directory. So for this video, I'm going to go with the full backup. Since my local environment is very small, it's going to take less than 10 seconds, I think. The next feature here is called Upload to Cloud. I'm going to show you later the cloud section, but you can connect one of the following clouds to BackupGuard plugin. So one option is the FTP. The next option is Dropbox, Google Drive, Amazon, and OneDrive. So for now, I have activated Google Drive. That's why this checkbox is available for me. So I can upload the backup to Google Drive. So I'm going to select that too. And later, we have at the bottom the background mode option, which allows us to run the backup on a background mode. So it means that the backup process won't interfere on the server overall functionality, and it will work on background mode. The background mode functionality makes the backup slower, but it makes your backup process lighter. So I won't select this option for now. I think this is okay to go with. So I will click the backup button. And as you can see, the backup process has already started. The database is going to be first, then the files. And next is the Google Drive upload. Right now it's uploading to Google Drive. And that's it. So after the backup is finished, you can either delete, download, or restore the backup. With the download function, you can download either the backup or the backup log. So one thing to mention here is that our backups are archived in a special format called SGBP. This format is our own archiving format, which allows us to backup very big websites, which zip sometimes doesn't support this. And it's very important to know that you can also download the log from here, which sometimes is necessary for us, the support team, if something doesn't go okay with the backup. So if there is any problems, we are going to ask you for this log. And the restore functionality is very important for two cases. One is to restore the website wherever you are. And the another thing is for the migration. Whenever you want to migrate your website from A domain to a B domain, you have to use this function to restore on the destination domain. So right now I'm going to skip this functionality for now. I'm not going to show it, but it's very easy. You just click it and that's it. It starts the process and that's it. So one of the questions that most of the users ask is the difference between the backup and the migrate buttons. So I'm going to explain this the easy way. There is not so much difference between these buttons. Actually, functionally speaking, there is no difference. But the thing is that because we never had the opportunity to explain very shortly how to do a migration, we created this button for the people that try to migrate their website from here to there. So this button is going to do the same, but we created this button to make it see easier, I mean. And next section is the cloud section. If you go to cloud section, you will see all the cloud connections. As you can see now, my Google Drive is connected. That's why I could upload my backup to Google Drive. And you can also rename the destination folder where the backup file is going to be uploaded to. So this is another question that we get frequently asked, is whether you can change the folder name. Yes, you can change it, and you can change it from here. And the next section, and one of the most important sections, is the schedule section, where you can schedule automatic backups. Because before we saw how to do a manual backup, but if you want to do this backup like frequently, and you don't have to go and always do a manual backup, so you can click on this button, select the frequency which you want to run the backup. For example, I want to do it once a day at, I don't know, 11 a.m. I want to do, again, the same options as in the manual backup. You can do a full backup. So, oh, sorry, I have to enter a label. And that's it. So there is my schedule. The execution date, the next execution date is here, which is tomorrow at 11 a.m. And the backup options full and the status is pending. So that's it, and you can edit or delete it. So now every day I will have my full website backup at 11 a.m. In the settings section, we have a lot of settings actually, but I'm going to talk about a few of them, which are very important. So, you know, sometimes people ask, what are the reloads? So I'm going to explain this. As this is a WordPress plugin, and as you know, many people run WordPress on many different environments. Some of them are very slow environments, or some of them are fast enough. That's why we created reloading. Reloading mechanism does the backup process in chunks. So we do one chunk of the backup and then reload the page and do the next chunk. You don't see these reloads. These are on background mode, but these are very important for slow servers, for servers that have limited functionality. So this option is very important to be enabled. But if you want to disable this, you can disable it, and disabling this option will make the backup faster, but only disable it if you know that your server is fast enough. So I'm going to leave this enabled. The first option is the email notifications. You can enable email notifications, and you can enter as many emails as you want here. People ask sometimes that they want to receive only email notifications when the backup fails. We don't have that feature yet, but it is already on our roadmap, and you can upvote for it, and hopefully we will have it soon. So next feature is delete local backup after upload. This is a very important option also, because you can, enabling this option, it makes your backup to be deleted from your local server after it is uploaded to Google Drive, for example. So as we were checking, after the backup is done, it gets uploaded to Google Drive or the cloud you selected, and enabling this option deletes the local copy. So you save space on your local hard drive. And let me see, what else do we have here? Another important option is this one, download via PHP. This option actually is for solving some issues that you may have with the download button. So if the download doesn't work for you, you can enable this option and try it this way. We did this because also, again, because of the lack of server features. And you can exclude some paths here. You can exclude the cache paths if you want. So you can also exclude database tables. And this is the most important feature, and people sometimes ask for this feature. Maybe the name is not friendly enough. I don't know, maybe we have to change this name, but this, the backup retentions is, the retention is the number of backups to keep. So if 100 is selected here, it means that after executing 100 backups, the next backup will delete the first backup. So we keep this number, this total number of backups available for you. And these other options are actually for improving performance, nothing else here. Okay. So in the system info section, you can see information about your system. We may ask about this information if needed, if you contact our support team. In the services section, actually we have one service, it is stated here. And on the video tutorials section, we have just one walkthrough video right now, but we are recording more videos and we will have it soon here. And under the support tab is our support center, where you can find all kind of help articles about the plugin and about installing the plugin, migrating your website, etc. Everything is here. So this is the backup plugin, but also I'm going to show you the next product, which is also on the same deal, which is the BackupGuard Security plugin. So the security plugin is actually quite new. It doesn't have all the features that major security plugins have, but we are improving it, and it has the most important features, I think. The first one is the scanner. which scans for vulnerabilities in your website. It scans for iframe infections, it scans for malware, it scans for any infected code inside your WordPress environment. So it is as easy as clicking on this button and the scan process will start, and it will start to scan all your WordPress environment. So this process takes a little bit longer than the backup process. So I'm going to continue with the next sections and then we can come back here. So next section is the firewall section, which is enabled by default. Everything is enabled by default. As you can see, we have many firewall features and you can disable the ones that you don't need. But these features actually make your website safer. So let me explain one thing. One question that we had a lot is that sometimes people say that our plugin modifies the htaccess file. So yes, that's right. Our plugin modifies the htaccess file, but this is needed because without that, we cannot provide all these features. So these features are provided by using the htaccess file. Why? Because this is a WordPress plugin. We have to remember that this is not a software installed on your server as a separate software. It is part of WordPress, so we cannot go outside of WordPress. So we have to use whatever we have inside WordPress. So the htaccess file is the most we can get from the Apache environment. So I'm not going to explain what these features do, but as you can see, very important things like image hot linking, for example, brute force. If somebody is trying to brute force access to your website, here you have the feature to block it. So also you can block specific IPs. So if you enter some IPs here, access to your website will be denied to those specific IPs. Let's go to the monitoring section. Inside monitoring, we have two kinds of monitoring. The first one is bandwidth monitoring. The second one is the traffic monitoring. The bandwidth monitoring tracks the bandwidth usage of your website. Actually, it tracks all the files that get downloaded inside your website. So, and you can see the number of times it has been downloaded and the total size that is using from your bandwidth. You can reset this, you can refresh it, or you can disable this bandwidth monitoring. Next section is the traffic monitoring, which shows how many users are on your website. As you can see, there is only one user because this is my local environment and it is me. So this is my environment. My user agent is macOS, and as you can see, is Firefox, my browser, and the URL which I'm visiting, and the time, and number of visits. So you can also disable this. I enabled this before. In the settings section, you can see only a few settings. The first one is the name of the report file, actually the prefix of the report file. And the next one is a very important settings, which is the number of login attempts you want to set your website to. So after 5 login attempts, the user will be blocked and will be denied access. So this feature was enabled in the firewall section. You can disable it, and this won't affect your website. And also, again, inside the system information page, you can see information about your website. I don't know why it's not blocking. 1 second. Yeah, sorry. Here is it. Again, information about your server, like memory RAM, total space, etc. So let's see how is the scan going. 69%. So that's it. After the scanning is over, you will be able to download the report here. One feature, which is a very crucial feature and we don't have right now, is the automatic removal of infected files and database, for example. So we don't have that feature yet, but this is a very crucial feature which we are working already on it, and we will have it. It is the next feature to have on this plugin. So I think that's it. I have shown you all the important features, and I think we can continue with the questions.
All right, let's do it. All right, so we got a few questions here. Sumolings, if you would like to add your questions, you could do that in the Q&A box right now. Raphael asks, with one code, can I back up in 2 different places?
Sorry, can you repeat the question, please?
Sure. With one code, can I back up into 2 different places?
Yes, yes, of course. You mean backup in 2 different places? You mean by clouds or 2 different places by?
I don't have any more context here. Raphael, if you're going to give us any more, you can go ahead and do that.
Okay. Okay, if you mean one code, if you are talking about the AppSumo code, it means you have the gold package, which with the gold package, you can back up 5 different websites. And the usage is unlimited. The number of backups you can have is unlimited also. So everything is unlimited. But the number of domains which you can use the plugin is 5 domains with one code. Yeah.
All right. Can you explain your incremental backups?
Yeah, so that's a very good question. Actually, I'm going to show you our roadmap here, but right now, this is the most needed feature from our plugin because we don't have incremental backups here. Actually, we do have incremental backups on our cloud service, but which is not included in this campaign. But our plugin is going to have incremental backups as the next feature because right now we are working on these features, the affiliate program. We are doing some improvements, very important improvements on the backend of our plugin. And we are implementing and we are integrating our cloud inside the plugin. So these are the features we are working on. And after these features, this is the most voted feature which we are going to have, the incremental backups. Cool. Right now, all backups are full backups.
All right. Does the security plugin work with NGINX only server environments?
Yeah, it does work with Nginx servers. And the thing is that some of the firewall features may not work with Nginx, but everything else works great. Yeah.
I thought Nginx. I was like, maybe that's it, but no.
Yeah. I call it like that, but I'm not sure either.
Yeah. If you modify htaccess, then how do you work with Nginx as it doesn't use htaccess?
Yeah. So the thing is that, as I said, some of the features modify the htaccess, not all the features. So this won't work there, but everything else will work just fine on Nginx. Yeah.
Cool. When will true multi-site be done? Like restore a single site, not the entire network. Okay,
so you cannot restore only one site. The thing that you can do is to install WordPress BackupGuard separately. So if you install the plugin separately, you will be able to do that. But right now, BackupGuard plugin only works on admin level. So if you install it on admin level, it means that it will restore the full multi-site network.
Cool.
Yeah.
We have a follow-up from Raphael. He wants to know if you can use one code to back up into 2 cloud places.
Yes, of course. Yeah, sure.
All right. Is there a tool to decompress the proprietary format?
Yes, that's right. So I'm going to show you that. Right now, if you go to BackupGuard/downloads, you can see the extractor software, which works for macOS and Windows right now. And also we have someone required us for Linux, here we have the feature, but I don't know when we will have that for Linux. But for macOS and Windows, we have a software which you can download and extract our format. But the thing I want to explain here is the following, that actually we think that there is no need to do the extraction, because what you can do is just download the file and import it whenever you want. By the way, I forgot to show you the importing functionality, but you can import the backup from here, and you can select any of the clouds that you have connected and import the backup. For example, if I select Google Drive, you can see that I have 2 backups in Google Drive. I can import one of the backups and then I can restore it. So as you are using this plugin normally, you won't need the extractor, but the extractor works whenever something, I don't know, very rare happens. Yeah.
I think kind of on the same, what you're talking about right now, somebody says, please show migrating and installing a backup.
Yes, so migrating is as easy as, like I showed you how to backup. The one thing missing from migrating is clicking the restore button. I can restore it. So if I click restore and do full restore, you will see the website being restored. After the restoration, the website is fully migrated. So what you have to do is to take this backup, take it somewhere else where you want to have the website, and click on the restore button, and that's it.
Will the restore work if without access to the site?
No. So I will explain what to do when you don't have access to the site. You have to install an empty WordPress environment wherever you want. And again, install our plugin, import the backup, and restore. So if you do that, you don't need, I mean, let's say you lost access to your website. What you can do is install a fresh, completely new WordPress environment and import your backup. That's why it's important to backup have your backups on cloud. So if something happens to your local environment, you have a backup on the cloud. So you can import it from the cloud and restore whenever you want.
Cool. Is there a list of specs to see if the server is robust enough?
Yeah, so a very important specification, for example, here, I have a very low memory limit. 128 megabytes of memory is actually very low for nowadays. So it's very important to have a good memory limit, more than this. And the execution time is not so important. And also the int size. Right now, all the processors or new processors work with 64 bits of processing, and that's very important. So 8 means 64, 4 means 32. So if you have 4 here, I will recommend you to change your hosting provider, because 4 is very, very antique. I don't know, it's very old.
All right. We have just 2 more questions here. So Sumolings, if you want to get those in, do that now. Is the malware removal scheduled for release? And if so, when?
Okay, so malware removal actually is not scheduled yet, but like on our backup plugin, as I said, after we are doing this, whatever we have in progress right now, we are going to have that feature next. So I will approximately say like in 2 months.
When the backup retention reaches your preferred number, will the file set for removal be automatically deleted from the cloud service as well?
Good question. Actually, in the settings, if you have this option enabled, backup deletion will also delete from cloud. So if you enable this option, it means that it will automatically delete from the cloud too. But if you don't enable this option, it will only delete your local copy.
Amazing. And that's all we got. Those are all the questions that we have. I'm going to stall briefly to see if anybody sends anything else in, but I really appreciate you cruising through these. This is real easy, real fun. Sumolings, if you haven't already, you can go ahead and redeem your code at AppSumo right now. The slug line is a little long, so I'm not going to bore you with it, but you can go to AppSumo. You can definitely find this there. And it is starting at $39 for a lifetime deal. Of course, this is backed by AppSumo's 60-day guarantee, so you can go ahead, get set up, play around with this and see how it works for you. Once you've done that, we would love to read your reviews for BackupGuard on the deal page itself. And you can also leave any questions that we didn't get to today there. Thank you so much, Artavaz, for hanging out with us. I really appreciate it.
Thank you too.
Have a good one.
Bye-bye.